All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from New Park Brewing, and they are out of West Hartford, Connecticut, and this is their Laurel. So they are calling this one a double IPA that comes in at 8% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 3 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Steven, for hooking me up with this one. So big thanks to him. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Steven hooked me up with, and he hooked it up. He sent me a couple beers from Fox Farm, which I've never reviewed on the channel, and then he sent me a beer from New Park. I've heard of their blender series, and I know they do good hop forward beer, so I'm really excited to get into this one. Super fresh, just over 3 weeks old, and yeah, don't know much about this one. On their website, they just say that they brew it with 3 of their favorite American hop varieties. I don't know what that is, but probably like Citra, things like that. Maybe Mosaic. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're going to try to figure it out with our own tasting notes and my shitty palate. So, let's give it a pour into the treehouse glass here. So, it looks really nice in the glass. Kind of what you expect from a hazy nowadays. So, yeah, it has that really nice honey orange. Almost in person, it has this nice glow to it, especially around here, like a sunburst almost kind of glow to it. It's way lighter down here. This has more like a yellow, and as it goes up, it becomes more and more orange. About a 2-finger of a soap sudsy and beets creamy type of head, some bigger bubbles with some smaller ones mixed in. That looks beautiful. Like, I love it. Like, on camera, it's probably just gonna look one solid, you know, probably honey orange color. In person, it looks freaking amazing. So let's get a nose. Ooh, so this is huge on the citrus. Holy shit, yeah, tons of freshly squeezed orange juice, tangerine. There's a sweet ruby red grapefruit, more of like a sweet grapefruit, but almost candied, like someone, you know, you're eating your grapefruit with a little bit of sugar on top. What is that? Ooh, pineapple. Oh, you know, I will say, when I review hop forward beers nowadays, I don't get as much pineapple as I used to. It used to be like, you'd get citrus and then pineapple would be like the first thing you would notice. Nowadays, for me, it's like a lot of stone fruits, peach, apricot, mango, passion fruit, honeydew melon, stuff like that. Like the new age hops bring something different to the table. So pineapple doesn't usually lead the way for me when it comes to like tropical and stone fruit vibes. Totally does here. And then as I go back, there's like a little bit of like a melon. I wouldn't necessarily say honeydew, but it's like a sweeter melon, maybe like a sweet cantaloupe. There's also like this slightly resinous pine quality too, like almost has like an old school type of feel to it. But yeah, a lot of sweet citrus, sweeter tropical fruits. Like not overly sweet, but just like more of a juicy kind of fruit as opposed to like, you know, the entire fruit. It's not like I'm getting like a bittering fruit sensation or anything. Man, this smells like, for 8%, it might be crushable. I don't know. Only one way to find out. So cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Steven. Wow. So that is an infinitely crushable 8% double IPA, which is just fucking absurd to say. But I think this one's like medium, touch over medium. Nice for 8%. The mouthfeel is really soft on the palate. Even though there's a decent carbonation, it just... I get like the carbonation tip of the tongue, but right as it passes through, like halfway through, it smooths out. It's not necessarily creamy, but it's soft and smooth. Really substantial mouthfeel is what I really like it. Try to pour the rest in here. I mean, that just, I can't get over how fucking nice that looks in the glass. That looks like a beautiful, like New England style IPA or hazy IPA. It's just, that's like if you saw this on Instagram, you'd be like, holy shit, that looks amazing. It really does. Like it, wow. No filter here. Yeah. So the taste really carries over, or the nose carries over the taste. Tons of juicy, sweeter orange. It's almost like a blood orange kind of sweetness too. So orange, blood orange, tangerine. I don't want to say Tangelo, but I'm going to say Tangelo. So, the tangerine grapefruit hybrid, the juiciness, the kind of that. But it's all those sweet versions of those fruits. So like just a freshly squeezed, like maybe even a little sugar, like a candied version. That hits me up front. Right after that, that pineapple, it's kind of like an under-ripened pineapple in the taste, not as sweet as it was on the nose, but it's just like a pineapple flavor without the sweetness. Man. A slightly fleshy honeydew melon. Is that kiwi? I think kiwi. Kiwi is something that I've been getting a little bit more about. Man, this is kind of wild on the palate. So that hits the first half of the palate. It's all that. There's an underlying like slightly doughy, bready kind of malt character, but it's not too pronounced, but it's kind of noticeable. Second half of the palate, there's a resinous pine, almost floral-esque, and based on the label, like I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but yeah, there's like a floral-esque kind of hop character. It finishes almost moderately bitter, like mild to moderately bitter, but approaching moderate, semi-dry. So I don't know how many times I can break it down in beers like this, but the first half of the palate sweet, second half of the palate dries out enough and it bitters out enough where it's very, very well balanced, extremely well balanced. The thing about it is there is no like alcohol stringency, there's no warming in the chest, there's nothing that would tell me this is 8%. It's fucking voodoo from an ABV standpoint, because outside of that body of mouthfeel, which at this point I've drank so many hop-forward beers like this, and so many beers within the style where I can pretty much tell body and mouthfeel most of the time within like a 1% ABV range. I don't think I would do that with this. Like I would probably guess like 7, but I'm just saying from a flavor standpoint, this drinks like a triple, but from like a crushability standpoint, just like, it's hard to explain. Like I just want to crush this fucking glass. Like I just want to chug it right now. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. This is really fucking good. Like I'm kind of blown away. I didn't really have any preconceived notions going in this one, because I know New Park is known for brewing great beer, but like I didn't know much about this one. I don't even know the hops or anything. This is fucking phenomenal. This is great. This is kind of blowing me away, and wow, this is delicious. Yeah. Not much more to say about it. This is a crushable 8% beer, but I don't want to crush it because the flavors are so great. But like I could just tear this up. Like if there's a 4-pack in my fridge, I could totally session that throughout the day. I shouldn't do that anymore, and I don't do that anymore. But back when I did, this beer would get torn up. New Park, their Laurel. High 4.5 out of 5 and go 4.6 out of 5. Like, fuck me. That's a great beer. That, to me, this has everything I want in hazies nowadays. I don't love super sweet hazies. I don't want super bitter hazies. I want a balanced, cohesive melding of the bitterness, the dryness, the sweetness. I want juiciness from the fruit flavors. I want a complex fruit flavor too. And this does it all. It brings the citrus to the table. It brings the tropical, the stone fruits. But then you get that nice, punchy kind of floral pine resin-esque bitterness on the back. You have a moderate dryness, but it's still crushable. I need to try more New Park. This is fucking great. I would love to try their blender stuff, but I can't thank Steven enough for this. I mean, this is great. Price and availability. I think these are like 19, maybe $20 a 4-pack all fucking day long, sons. All day long. I'd easily pay like $22 4-pack in this market, maybe even 24 for something this fucking delicious all day long. And availability, I think New Park is brewery only. Steven or anybody out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like brewery only. If they do get distro, it's not big. So it's a treat to have something like this. So huge thanks to Steven for not only this beer, all the beers he hooked me up with. Such a kind, generous individual. He is pretty much the beer mail king in my world. He's hooked Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews up so many times with just crazy beer mails. And this time around, he sent us a huge beer mail right before Christmas to a lot of different beer tubers that I'm friends with. And yeah, I'm just blown away. And I'm blown away from this fucking beer. This is just... I'm going to shut it down. So like I said, 8%, you really can't tell outside the body mouthfeel. It's delicious. It's delicious. And I'm going to drink the rest of it. So thanks again to Steven. Thanks again to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this beer before or anything from New Park, throw it in the comments. Let me know. Till the next one.